Dave, I want to touch on one thing. We've been going on this foreclosure loan modification line for a little bit. I've had a lot of clients recently, and I'm sure there are plenty more out there, where they're trying to get a modification, they're current on their mortgage, and lo and behold, what do they get told?
Well, a lot of times they're told that they have to be behind on their payments before they can get the modification.
Okay.
And unfortunately, it's just not the case. You know, the programs that people talk about, and you see so much out there with the HAMP program, there's no requirement that you be behind on your mortgage. Unfortunately, a lot of times what happens is, you know, you fall behind on your mortgage and now you've limited your opportunities for assistance. Recently, they just bumped up what they call the home refinancing program, or the HARP program, and now they can refinance up to 125% of the value of your home. Now, unfortunately, here in Southwest Florida, our homes have fallen so far in value that there's not a lot of homes that are still within 125%. But there are those homes that are. And in that instance, when you're current, you've preserved your credit, and it allows you to not only talk to your current mortgage servicer, but perhaps somebody else that can offer you some assistance, so that your options aren't limited to just your servicer. And by falling behind on your payments, that's when you start to damage your credit and limit your options to really only working with your actual mortgage servicer.
Now, how about the people that are just constantly told, we can't do anything for you, you have to go behind on your payments, and then ultimately a foreclosure comes? Does that have any type of effect on that case?
Well, you know, you may, and that's when you start talking about foreclosure, and you know, it matters about what they told you. Did they tell you that if you fell behind on your payments, they would modify your mortgage, and things of that nature? Because those are the types of things that you can fight in a foreclosure lawsuit if you relied on their position that, hey, if you fall behind on your payments, we're going to give you a modification. There's a lot of case law, there's a lot of things working through the system now that they may actually be liable for some of the things that they're doing to these homeowners. They may fall under the Unfair and Deceptive Trade Practices Act. They may not be, you know, typically it was assumed that banks were exempted out of the Unfair and Deceptive Trade Practices Act that we have here in Florida. But a lot of these loans are being serviced by somebody other than a bank. It's actually, you know, you'll see somebody like XYZ Loan Mortgage Servicing Company that's just a subsidiary of the bank. So if they're doing these unfair, deceptive trade practices, they may actually be liable, and you may have a claim that you can bring against them for the conduct that they've partaken in.
What is the deceptive and unfair trade practice? I'm sure there's some people that would want to know what that's all about.
It's a consumer protection statute here in Florida. Essentially what it is designed to do is to protect the consumer from the corporations, or from the bigger, you know, I call them companies that have more sophistication, and they know those things.